Hello everyone, today we will not increase McDonald's by very many times, but we will prepare a huge latte classic, potato dips, and Big Tasties. By the way, write down what is your favorite burger from McDonald's. I have it as my Big Tasty. Please like it in advance, it's going to be a very interesting video. Let's go. Without the beautiful packaging, McDonald's is not McDonald's. So let's repeat the packaging, but on a huge scale. To do this, we will use this kind of corrugated cardboard. We unfold the original packaging, measure the dimensions of the boxes, multiply them, and transfer these dimensions to cardboard. Wherever necessary, we cut them out. And we bend the cardboard exactly according to the marked places. We squeeze out some hot glue and assemble the box. Now our Big Tasty box is ready. We also make a box for the fries. The plastic bucket will serve as a large coffee cup. And we make the lid out of the same cardboard. In my opinion, it turned out pretty well. We arm ourselves with paints, and first of all, we paint a plastic bucket from a spray can in yellow. And we cover our cardboard products with acrylic paints. We put the painted lid on the already yellow bucket. We paste the inscription, and it turns out very similar to the glass from McDonald's. Here is such a box that turned out for the fries, and here is what we got for the Big Tasty. By the way, we made it according to the old box design. Maybe from the outside it seems that all of this is not so difficult, but it took us 15 hours to make all these boxes. The first thing we're going to do is make the French fries. This is the same French fries, but only in a different shape. So we need a bag of potatoes. We open it up. And begin to clean it. The peeled potatoes are dumped into a basin. And the same thing a few more times. Now we're left with a full basin of peeled potatoes, but it's dirty. Therefore, we pour them into the sink and fill it with water. We wash the dirt off of each potato and remove all the eyes that we missed the first time. We put the perfectly peeled potatoes in a saucepan and fill that with water so that it completely covers the potatoes. Now we put that onto 2 burners. Our potatoes need to be boiled, but apparently we chose the wrong variety. For the potatoes to get soft, they were cooked for 7 hours. So we drain the excess water. And with the help of a potato masher, we knead the potatoes. When the masses become more or less homogeneous, we add quite a lot of salt and continue to knead. The shape of our fries is going to be very unusual, so repeat it on a large scale. We take these iron corners, pour oil onto each of them, and smear that all around with a brush. And now we take our mashed potatoes and put them into the molds. And we ram it all around with our hands. And with the help of some tube-shaped object, we make the most similar shape of the potato dippers. And we throw those into the freezer for a whole day. In the meantime, we'll make a giant coffee. For this, we need 14 liters of milk. We open the bottles and pour them into a large saucepan. We put that onto the stove. And it'll be needed to heat it up to 60 degrees. In the meantime, let's get busy with some coffee beans. They are already fried, so now we just have to grind them. Therefore, put a little bit into a coffee grinder and grind. Our already ground coffee is poured into another saucepan. Thus, we need to grind all our 800 grams of coffee beans. Fill them with 5 liters of water. Mix. And throw all that onto the stove. We pour a lot of sugar into our huge espresso. And mix it again. The milk is already hot. Therefore, we scoop it and pour it into a blender. Close and beat the hot milk really well. After this procedure, the milk will turn into a foam. We send the foam into a large glass. And so we pass all the hot milk through the blender the same way. We install a sieve on top, and the coffee is already boiling, so we remove it from the stove and pour it into the large glass. That's our giant latte that's ready. Very similar to what they sell at McDonald's. Now let's make a giant Big Tasty. It consists of the Big Tasty sauce, tomatoes, lettuce, onions, cutlets, cheese, and of course buns. We'll start with them. Pour some water into a bowl. Add some dry yeast, salt, sugar, oil, and of course flour. We knead all this together and also add the flour until the dough stops sticking to your hands. We put this onto a baking tray. We bake 1 egg into a bowl and pour in a little milk. Mix that up. And when the dough is risen, we lubricate it with this mixture. Now we sprinkle some sesame seeds on top and into the oven at 200 degrees. Looking ahead, I will say that this test was not enough. We made a double portion and baked a bun like this from it. We released it from the foil and cut it in half. It turned out to be very soft. So now let's make our hamburger. In ground beef, we add some dry garlic and 2 chili pepper and a lot of salt. Well, we mix the spices with our hands. But there is very little fat in this minced meat, and the cutlet will be 100% dry. A piece of lard will help fix all of this. We cut off the unnecessary skin and cut the frozen fat into plates. Then into cubes. And chop it up. That's it. We send the cubes of lard into the minced meat. And mix it again. Now the cutlet will be very juicy. We transfer all the minced meat to the parchment. Done. Now we're going to grill it, so therefore we kindle it. Top the cutlet with some oil and smear it around with your hand. We put the grill grain on top and turn it over. We send the cutlet on to fry. To extinguish the fire, cover it with a lid and later fry without it. We pick up the cutlet with a spatula and turn it over. On this side, fry for another 10 minutes. And it's all ready. Now let's go to the cheese. We will use some Emmental for the taste and mozzarella so that it melts well. Cut the cheese into smaller pieces. and grate. All the cheese is then thoroughly mixed together. Divide into half and pour into 2 pots. We put them on the stove and constantly stir them until we wait for the cheese to melt. We will prepare the molds now. Lubricate the plastic trays with oil. Pour out the hot cheese. And distribute it according to the shape. And just let them freeze like that. So for the Big Tasty sauce, we squeeze out a whole package of mayonnaise. Pour in some paprika, black pepper, crushed garlic. We clean it. Finally chop it. And rub with a knife all over the board. And that's awesome into the sauce. American mustard. Cut a lemon and squeeze the juice out of it. Barbecue sauce is a must. But that's not it. The most important thing left is a little liquid smoke. Stir for the last time and the Big Tasty sauce is ready. Tomatoes, iceberg lettuce, and onions are all needed from the vegetables. First, peel the onion. And cut it into half rings. This time the onion was very spicy. Got the tomatoes. Well, and now let's put our Big Tasty together. We spread a slice of cheese onto the bun, then a huge cutlet, another slice of cheese, put on the tomatoes, onion, iceberg lettuce, pour all the sauce out on top. And cover that with the top bun. At this point, a huge Big Tasty is ready. By this time, the potatoes have already been frozen. You can pull them out. You can pull off the iron corners. And in my opinion, the shape turned out really great. We put a huge saucepan on the burners. And you need a lot of oil. We open it. And make a huge deep fryer. We lower our potato dippers into the hot oil. We take them out and put them onto the paper towels. We also fry the rest. Now let's put them into the box. Hey everybody, in the video we did with the huge bounty, I asked, which candy bar do you want me to blow up next? Most chose Twix. Well, let's cook the most gigantic Twix. First, let's see what's inside it. We open it up. Got it. And we see a layer of cookies, then caramel, and milk chocolate on the outside. Now let's go to the store. The first thing we need is condensed milk. More precisely, it is an unrealistically large amount of condensed milk. We need 215 cans. We also take a lot of powdered sugar, 6 boxes. We need 55 kilograms of flour, 3 boxes of margarine, 12 bottles of eggs, and there are 20 eggs in each bottle. And of course, milk chocolate. That's it. With 2 fully filled carts, we go to the checkout. Our purchase came out to $574. That's not very cheap, but we're preparing a huge Twix. First, let's prepare the cookies for our Twix. We take 16 packs of margarine in a large saucepan. We open the margarine. And dump it into the saucepan. We filled it to the top. Just put that on the stove and wait until all the margarine melts and becomes liquid. To knead a lot of dough, we take a huge basin like this. You need 30 kilograms of flour. We open the packages with scissors. And pour out all the flour. Take the melted margarine off the stove and pour it out. We take the boxes of powdered sugar, open them, and 1.5 boxes are sent into the basin. All we have left to do is add 120 eggs, or 6 bottles of eggs. To mix all this up well, we use an industrial standing mixer. The dough is very thick, and your hands get tired from holding the mixer, but nevertheless, everything's ready. The Twix sticks will be made in these iron forms. First, pour a little oil inside. Smear it around on the walls. And cover that with parchment. Done. We lower the forms to the floor. We put the dough directly into the mold with our hands. We line everything up. And we've already filled out one form. Now you need to repeat the same thing with the second one. Done. We put the forms of the dough in our huge oven. We close the doors and turn on the burners. Our cookies will be cooked all night at 190 degrees. We swapped the molds places during the night because the burners are cooking faster in spaces. As the same desk in the morning, everything's ready. We put a sheet of plywood on top and turn it over. But then the worst thing happened. It turns out our cookies were not baked at all night. Of course, we were upset, but we did everything again. This time the cookies were baked all day and all night. Naturally, during such a long cooking time, the top was burnt. But it's not a problem. With the help of knives, we remove the upper burnt layer. Done. The cookies are cleaned. The open part on top will be the bottom of the Twix. We take a small part of the chocolate that we bought. We take 2 bowls and just crush the chocolates on the table. Open them and pour out the shards into a bowl. We continue this until they fill the bowl with a heap. We put all this into a steam bath. And when the chocolate began to melt and decrease in volume, we realized that this wouldn't be enough. We take another batch of chocolate and fill a bigger bowl with it. And we also send that to the steam bath. We bring the molds into the studio. The first batch of chocolate is already melted. Pour 2 bowls on top of the cookies. And we distribute the chocolate. Pour a large bowl of chocolate into the second mold. And we distribute that. After a very long time, the chocolate finally set. We put a sheet of plywood on top and turn over the cookies for Twix. We remove the stuck parchment. And this time the cookies turned out to be just awesome. With the help of putty, Dad smears the inner corners of the mold so that it becomes more rounded. Then we cover everything with parchment. We transfer them to the studio, and the next stage begins, the caramel for the Twix. For the caramel, powdered sugar is needed, and just an unreal amount of condensed milk. We open the packages, take out 5 cans, and open them. We will cook in 2 pans at once. We open 10 cans. Pour the condensed milk into the pans. Add a ladle of powdered sugar. And cook it all over medium heat until a brown caramel turns out. We send that into the mold. We will repeat this process a ridiculous number of times. We cooked the caramel, and the condensed milk burned down very slowly. In total, we cooked the caramel for 9 hours. We fill the caramel into the third of the molds. That should be enough. We line it up. Now the caramel has been in the freezer all night. We take it out, pull it out of the mold, and place it on top of the cookies. We remove all the stuck parchment from the caramel. Now we take all the chocolate that we bought, and even found dark chocolate after the last videos. We put a hefty saucepan on the table, and break all the chocolates right into it. Done. Now we take 3 smaller bowls and fill them with the chocolate pieces. We put them into a steam bath to melt. Done. The chocolate melted and became a liquid. Now let's pour this on top of the bar. We smear all this around the spatula so that the chocolate layer turns out to be even. We pour out all the melted chocolate. And fill the bowls with chocolate again. We melt it, and we try to fix all the blemishes on it. For the final filling, we add oil, and mix it well. Thanks to this, our chocolate will spread very beautifully and be glossy. Fill it in. Now we go around with a spatula, and with a spoon we make characteristic grooves on top. The second Twix stick is also covered. And we make our grooves. When the chocolate is set, our giant Twix is ready. It weighs 220 kilograms. It took 5 days to prepare it, and there are 1,078,000 calories in it. That's crazy how much. Let's finally cut into it. Yes, there's not enough chocolate, but nevertheless, it looks like a Twix. We try a piece. It's very tasty, and it really looks like a Twix. And if you want us to cook another huge bar, then give us those lights. This video needs to get 350,000 likes. Choose in the comments what we'll blow up next: Skittles, a Lion Bar, or nuts. But that's not all. I fought in a culinary battle against Dad. We cooked huge ostrich legs. So follow the link in the description and see who won. See you, everybody!